Hello, everyone, and welcome to Zest with me, Shel Marie, the podcast that will take you on a journey from the hustle to the harmony, fueling your passion whilst finding your peace. I am super excited today to welcome back a guest that has already been on this podcast. She is a truly inspiring guest. She is called Francesca Pezzino, and she is a certified parenting and life coach, a devoted childminder, and a mother who is dedicated to helping children grow, feeling more loved, seen, and heard. And I believe her commitment to conscious parenting, leadership, as well as emotional awareness is an absolute gift to this world. If you haven't watched her previous episode, I'll put it in the notes, you definitely need to. But this time, our conversation is going even deeper into something that Francesca has been exploring recently, which is the power of energy. And I know she is super eager to share her insights on how adults can relearn the sensitivity we're born with, how emotions can be seen as information rather than commands, and how parents can become a safe port for their children. Wow, I am excited to also explore with her the practical micro tools for managing energy, guided meditation as a training for presence, and the transformative impact that conscious energy awareness can have on parenting and life. Let's dive into this. I am super excited. Welcome.
Thank you, Shel Marie. Thank you for welcoming me and for putting all this together very beautifully said. Thank you. And yes, as you say, let's create something beautiful that we hope all your audience will enjoy and take something from it and make their life even just a bit better. We will be super happy with it.
Absolutely. And for anyone who hasn't seen your previous episode, I always feel like things happen for a reason, because a comment that I really remembered that came up after your first one was people saying we need more of this, and it's just ironic that we're here again. We're going
yes.
even deeper and sharing even more, and that's the thing. I feel like whether we know it or not, there's always signs and things along the way that reveal what our next steps are. So I'm super excited. So to start with, let's talk about energy. Let's go straight there. Let's talk about energy.
Well, let's start. It's a good thing that you did a presentation, because I thought, like, where do we start from? So let's go with your order. So we start from somewhere and then we go where we feel like going. Well, my experience with my daughter was, I experienced with my daughter her ability, that is the children ability of, I'm going to say of feeling more, of being more aware of what she feels, I would say, because I think we all feel, but we then forget how to feel, and because we are not taught and we don't experience that it's important to feel. We are actually taught, especially depending on the age and on your gender, it depends, the society. There are moments of history where you are told that it's better you don't talk about your feelings, so the best is that you don't take them into account. My great amazing father is one of those men, and I told him once, I think you grew up in a time where you were told that men don't feel and don't show feeling, so it's better you don't feel. But everybody says that my father looks like what is the last time a friend told me, your father always looked like a monk, always very composed, and but I know him, and I know that with him you can't talk about some things because he's not used to go so close to feelings, because he always had to not to show them. So probably the best way is not to deal with them, because you can learn. The important thing is to learn that feelings are information. So feeling, the most you feel, the best of you are. The thing is that you need to learn what to do with the information that you get. You need to be in control of the information that you get. It can't be the feeling that controls you. And this is something that we need to teach our children, and takes ages to learn and to keep. There are moments in life when you don't manage to keep it because the emotions are very, very strong, and okay, they take the lead. But with my daughter, I experienced two beautiful moments. One was once on a small beach along the river here in North Yorkshire. We were, my husband, me, and Matilda, and there were three women. And at some point, I turned around to my husband. Matilda was 1 year and a half, so she was walking, wobbling beautifully, splish splashing in the river. And I asked my husband with signs, because they were like 4 meters away, say, "Do you think she's pregnant?" And he was like, and then when we were going away with Matilda, she stopped, and I don't even think that she heard me. And she was 1 year and a half, so she didn't know what pregnant means. She didn't have a clue. Even if she heard my voice, that didn't mean anything for her. And she stopped and she pointed and she went, "Baby."
Wow. Wow.
And then I went and I said, "Sorry, I need to ask, are you expecting a baby?" And she said, "Oh, yes, does it show?" I mean, no. No, it doesn't show.
What?
But she knows.
Oh my
yes.
gosh.
So that was the first time that I thought, God, this is real. And then another time we were passing, again, maybe she was 2 years old. We were walking and I saw just near the path a dead rat, but it had been killed. I think it had been youngster playing and killing it. It was really, really bad. And I saw it, and then I positioned myself between Matilda's coming. I didn't want her to see it. She was too small. I saw she's too small to see this. What am I going to explain it to her? That someone can be so mean to hurt an animal for her? I don't want her to know this now. Now she knows naturally, but when she's 2 years old. And this is also why it's so important for the parents to be present. There are things that your children will learn, but it's up to you to understand when your child is ready to learn. The thing that she now knows that there are people to hurt animals doesn't mean that she was ready to know it when she was 2 years old. It's very important. So I put myself between, and she was the usual self, cheerful, happily, and she passed me. And she went up, and then I walked after her, and she stopped like this, and she looked down, and she looked at me, and I was, "Are you okay?" I said, "What are you feeling?" And she didn't know. And I was, "Are you hurt? Are you sad?" And then I said, "Do you think you felt something sad?" And she said, "Yes." And I said, "There is something very sad here, but I don't want you to linger into it. So let's move on. Let's not feel it too much." I didn't investigate. I didn't want her to
So
go
she
too
didn't
deep in
see,
it.
but she felt it. Oh,
Yes.
bless her.
And then the last beautiful one night, here she was a bit bigger. She's 7 now, so she was nearly 5 or just 5. And we were in London for a weekend, so we were sleeping somewhere where she wasn't used to sleep. She was sleeping in the room next to us. She's always been very good at sleeping by herself, but she woke up in the night and she couldn't fall asleep again. So I was chatting with her. I was sitting near her bed. We were talking. I love the connection during the night. Now she asks me if she can once a week or once every 2 weeks, if she can sleep with me, and if I can wake her up at midnight with a chamomile to have a chat.
The beautiful thing is about that is you can pretend it's midnight as well.
Yeah, whatever time after 8 is midnight, it's okay.
Sorry.
But I'm an owl. I love, for me, it's the night. So for me, midnight is
and it's
perfect.
really
it's
quiet,
not late for me.
isn't it? It's quiet in the early hours. It's beautiful.
And so we were talking, and I asked her, we were talking for a long time, and I said, "Do you remember anything?" Because she always used to ask me about when I was pregnant with her. "Do you remember anything about it?" And I don't remember how she put her hand now, but I remember it was a specific hand posture that was quite unusual for a 5 years old. And I was looking at her, what she was doing. I don't remember now what she was doing. And she said, everything was pink. So she remembered that from inside the womb, when you look out, there is the light and the skin. So she really could, she remembers seeing pink because everything is water and there is light and there is the tummy, the skin. She remembers seeing pink, and I was like, oh, this is so beautiful. But then we forget, because we don't cherish it, we don't nourish it, and we are taught that difficult things, it's better you don't feel them, no? You avoid the difficulty, you avoid the straining of the emotions of the body, because it's not just the mind that goes through the emotion, it's all your body. It depends. I feel it here. I go like, when the emotions are difficult, I go, and everything gets tense here. There are people who do this, people who get tummy aches. I mean, emotions are very powerful, but really, emotions are just great information. And if you think about it, when there is this thing that you hear from many people, and for me is a normal thing, but then I got to know that not everybody has this ability, the ability of getting into a room and understanding, feeling if everything is okay or not. Especially if you had been in the room and you get out of the room and you are back and something changed. For me, it's like I feel it very strongly, very, very strongly. And I turn around and I know where it comes from. And in some places it's great also because it can save your life. There are situations in which, this is too tense. It's better we move away. Then you focus, whatever, two men who are talking and the voice is going up, and you decide, okay, maybe it's better I grab my bag that is on the next chair and I move away. Whatever. You need to be aware of what goes around you, not to be scared, to be aware, and then you decide what you do. I stay, I'm okay, even if it's a bit tense, I can stay, yes, or I don't know what it is, it's better I move away, or can I contribute? Do I want to contribute? I don't always have to, because the another very important aspect of emotions is that we need to learn the emotions, we need to teach them to our children, and we need to learn and teach that the fact that we can feel very well doesn't mean that we get in charge of other people's emotions. You are my friend, but you are going through a very difficult moment. I'm here for you, but it looks like I'm not managing to help you at the moment. Is there anything I can do for you? Go for a walk, go for an ice cream, depending on the age or whatever. Do you want to play? No. I'm going home, but you text me, you call me, I'm here for you. But when I can do something for you, not when you drag me down, or even not try, when you are not managing anything and dragging me down. It's not good for either of us. So I'm not staying, not because I don't love you, but I love myself and I love you, so I'm going now.
Absolutely. You've touched on so many important things that all pretty much tie into one another, because I think also, like, most people can relate to, even when we sometimes are unconscious of it, like even when you hear someone walk into a room and go, oh, what's just happened in here? Were you all just talking about me? There's jokes we say, but where do these things come from, where you do feel that as you walk in a room, positive or negative? And I love that you tied it then into the experiences with your daughter, because actually from listening, I believe they make complete sense, but we wouldn't necessarily see that as much through for example, the example with the unfortunate animal with your child. Because you were conscious and you were really aware of everything that unfolded, there were no assumptions made. Whereas I think sometimes a parent would immediately assume, oh, they must have seen it. And so I feel that what you've just touched on is, it's really important, because whether we want to acknowledge it or not, we do sense these things, whether it's something that's in our mind and we've created, or generally how we're really feeling in that situation. I think often when it's from a child, we seem to make it as we decide the answer for them, we decide the outcome for them. And they often say like no, or it becomes something else, and we kind of almost think like we make the decision. And I think it's actually, no, it is important to just sometimes know that maybe your child is just feeling something, and that's generally what they're expressing. And I love that even with that, you didn't kind of, well, I don't know the whole thing, but just from what you explained, you didn't then as the human, the adult trying to figure it out because maybe they feel uncomfortable, try and ask too much and bring more of that energy into the child and maybe more of that kind of sadness. Instead, you listened, you acknowledged, and then you said, like, there is actually something sad here and you're allowed to feel how you feel. Let's carry on though, darling. And so you acknowledged, and you kind of became the mature adult and tried to bring that to a happier outcome as best as you could.
Yes.
And I think that's super important. Instead of we're questioning and then trying to make something that we feel more comfortable knowing, and it isn't actually about us sometimes. So
this is beautifully said. And the process that teaches us how to teach our children starts from the whatever situation you are in, the tantrum. My dear, you need to put on the shoes, we need to go to the car, or you need to turn off the tablet, we need to set the table, or you need to do the homework, you need to go to music class. No, I don't want, whatever the age it is. You need, first of all, to have the time. So when you have children, you need to make extra time. If you need to be somewhere at 9, get 10, 15 minutes more. And I know the lives are busy, that we have a lot of things to do, but we need to make priorities. So enough with the life is busy. Okay, everybody's life is busy, not your life or my life. Everybody, your life, my life, and our children's life, because we make it very busy. So you need to slow down for yourself and for your child so that you can be grounded and rooted and able to deal with the situation, not that you are still trying to do your hair, put on one shoes, get the snack, get the drink, and then you forgot one shoes and one jacket. And so take time, make time and take time, and apologies, maybe put down the phone and don't watch the TV that much, and you'll see that 1 hour a day from that is a lot of time if you manage to take it away from the screen. And then whatever your child says brings up a feeling. No, I don't want to. What your child feels is not wrong. What each of us feels is a feeling. You can't tell anyone that what he feels in that moment is wrong, because the fact that you don't feel it, it doesn't mean that what he feels is wrong. Because reality, if you want, a glass is a glass, a cup is a cup. But if I look at it, I see it with an orange liquid inside. If someone looks at it, he sees it with a yellow liquid in it, and the glass is still the same. But how I see it and how you see it is not wrong. And that's why we have different opinions about things. Otherwise, we would all think exactly the same, and emotions wouldn't be a thing. So emotions are what contribute to our perception of reality. So at that point, you need to acknowledge, as you said, I'm sorry, yes, I know you were playing or you were watching your favorite series. Look, now we need to go. We can pick it up later, or we can talk about it, and you need to be patient. And if the child doesn't follow what you're saying, you just keep getting the things, going in the car, keep modeling. Show it, we can do it, you can do it, I help you a bit. And then if there is a meltdown, try not to raise your voice. Is for me, for example, when Matilda has a meltdown, I feel like I need to keep talking to help her. And then I go like, I said what I needed to say. If I keep saying it, my voice goes up, because you can say as much as you want, you need to be patient. But after the 5th time you say the same thing, you feel like, I said it!
And thank you for highlighting that, because I think, sometimes we share things on episodes and podcasts, and we are kind of, you're the expert in your field, but I think we also need to be raw and real, that we are still human, we are still a mother. And I thank you for so much for addressing that, because we can have the blueprint, we can have the oh yeah, she says pause, she says, but there are days where you just say, do you know what, today is just one of those days. And
yes,
thank you.
Yes, absolutely, absolutely, yes. And then keep going, keep trying to make it better and solve it, and remind yourself 2 things. Remind yourself of why you're doing what you're doing. So in parenting, as in anything else you do, you should have very clear why you're doing what you're doing. That means you need to set your values. What are your values? What is that you want to teach your child? Which adult are you raising? What relationship do you want with your child when she's 15, 20, 25? Where do you want to go? So you know why today you are fighting or addressing better the fight for putting on the shoes, because otherwise you get lost into we need to do it now, we need to do it now. Why do we need to do it? Okay, because we need to be on time. I don't like to be late. Okay, are we going to be late? No, actually we have 5 minutes. Matilda, I get in the car, there is a snack in the car. This is not a punishment. I think you need another 5 minutes. I'm sitting in the car, the door is open, please. Otherwise I come back in 5 minutes, but I give you 5 minutes, we meet in the car.
I think
give
that's
them space.
It's really important what you said as well. And I know, again, we can't say this is the perfect protocol every time, but I think giving them options and the power back for them to make the choice, rather than it being like no, I said, like, and I know there are times like that, but actually knowing your child and like what you say, not making it then just taking everything and then now she's crying, she's screaming, there's a whole scene. It's just, and you know, sometimes we can say some parents don't always have that time, but that just be mindful of it, that maybe if this is a repeated pattern and it does keep surfacing, that maybe just taking that 10-15 minutes and just how like if you have a child that's very stubborn and, well, not, I know stubborn doesn't always sound positive, but like stubborn and very strong in their mind. Giving them the ownership, like even when I used to be in teaching, like giving that child that wants to keep talking, wants to keep asking questions, answering, I used to make him a mini teacher or her a mini teacher for a certain part of the day that allowed for that, because actually telling them, shh, quiet, sit down, no, I'm not going to ask you, I'm not going to, you have to play to the strengths of the individual children. So when that's a child, it could just be that they're just, you know, they take a long time. They will get there, but they're not going on your timing, you know. So it's just really knowing your child, isn't it? And the strengths of your child. And if you know your child likes to sleep in, they're not one that jumps up, gets up, and or you have the opposite where you have a child that's up early and then crashes or something. It's just really being aware of and different children as well, you know, not again every child is the same.
Absolutely. You touched on many important things. One thing is the choices. I agree with empowering the children. Till a certain age they are not able to make choices in the sense of choose between this or that. It makes it even more difficult for them, because especially if they're having a tantrum, okay, all right, do you want the black or the red shoes? That doesn't help.
I don't want any
shoes. Exactly.
Kicks them.
So you need to tell them you need the red shoes, but then you can let them choose. You can let them choose how long does it take to do it. So okay, you have 5 minutes, the shoes are here, I leave you space. With Matilda, when dinner goes too long, because she loves chatting, we always eat all together for dinner, at least 5-6 evenings a night. Then one night a week, my husband and me eat later so that we can relax and talk. But 5-6 evenings a week we eat all together. And sometimes Matilda takes a bit too long, because then we start talking. We already sorted out all the kitchen, and she's still eating. And I go like, Matilda, it's time to go to bed. And I set the timer of the oven. I said, you have 10 minutes. Whatever you ate in these 10 minutes is what you are eating tonight, because we need to move on. So she knows. She's also learning what 10 minutes are, because you also need to remember that time doesn't mean what means for you. You have 5 minutes. You have 5 minutes don't mean much for them. But if there is the timer where she can see the number that goes down, it starts making sense. So you're also teaching time.
It's very
so this
important.
was one thing. And let's see if I remember the others now.
Even one of those sand timers, I used to find that was really helpful.
The visual.
And then what they would do is hit it, especially if they were waiting for their turn with a toy. They'd be like, your turn's up, and stop that. So they're clever, you know?
Yeah. And then it was beautiful what you said about going with the strengths of the children, because every child is different, as you said, and every child has strengths, as every adult, strengths and weaknesses, and we need to teach them to work on their weaknesses with their strengths. That's something that is very useful in life. I'm a lazy person, but or I don't know, but we all have strengths. So let's work on that so that you can go around. No one is perfect. So I always tell Matilda, no one is perfect. Don't pick up on my imperfection. Don't pick up on that imperfection. And we clearly say, this is not my thing. This is not his thing. I'm better at this. He's better at this. But you will come up with yours. Don't pick up on ours. We need to aim to feed you the perfect recipe for a happy adult. And we need to be aware that you are not perfect and you won't get there, because you are a human, you are not a robot. But we need to aim to give you all we can so that you have all the ingredients, and then you will make your cake out of it. The other thing that came to my mind that you mentioned is how I start my classes is always, in this class, you are the expert, not me, because we are talking about your parenting, not parenting, because then you can read a book. You read the book and you are okay. If you are here talking with me, it's because we are working on your parenting. So first of all, you have more than one child. We are working on more than one parenting, because it's not the same, because of the child, because of you, because of how they grew up, in which situation. And you are the expert. There is no one else who knows your child and your relationship with your child and what you want for your child better than you do. So first of all, let's start from making that picture clearer. Where you are now, where do you want to go? And then we can move on with all the tools. I help you, giving you the tools, and you use the tools, and we talk through it so that you can get closer and closer and closer to where you want to go and be in 10 years.
I love that. And I guess does that link into what you define as safe port? A safe port for children to read their states, and that they are able to read your state, I think you said, before your words, which is really interesting as well, because you kind of touched on that. Of we often think with the saying that's the keys to that the children are picking up on, and of course it's still important, but what they're viewing is ultimately what comes out a lot in their role play, I find. Just the way they'll call something or handle their teddies or whatever.
Yes. But I always say, sometimes children listen to us, sometimes, but they always look at us.
Exactly.
Always look and feel what goes around them, because we said they are very connected with their feeling. And children, let's go back to it a second. Children are very connected to what they feel because their brain doesn't have the 5 senses developed as much as our 5 senses are. So their 5 senses abilities are not developed as ours. So let's say that their brain tries to compensate for the information that they are still not able to get through how they see, how they hear, especially because for a long time what they hear doesn't have the meaning words, just have a energy meaning. When you sing a lullaby, when you tell a story till they are 2 years old, they will understand a few words. When you tell them a story about the farm with the animals, it doesn't bring up any image if you want. And then when you say the sheep, then slowly they start associating the sheep to the sound ba, because you go, the sheep goes ba. And then when you take them to the farm when they are 3 and 4 and you show them the sheep, the name, the sound and the image, then everything starts going together. But it takes a long time to become the adult knowledge of a sheep, and you can always enrich it with a mountain of information. So till then, when they are around a sheep, when they are 1 year old, when you tell them the story of the sheep, they feel the energy that you have related to the sheep, that is a kind animal. that is
That's
soft.
what I was just thinking, because yeah, like even down to how we depict it. So if we say, and then there's the sheep, and no, along came the spider. We actually telling
Yes,
them spider, and they're oh the spider. So we're actually yeah forming very strong, strong emotions in the child of
yes,
like. So even down to that, because I'm sure most parents, most people when they read a story, you want to be animated, but it is
yes,
actually linked to our own thoughts and feelings of the
yes,
sheep, the spider, the spooky house, the big grand mansion. So yeah,
yes.
I never really thought about how much we are really actually forming their thoughts, feelings, and emotions just through like a
Yes.
story.
Yes, yeah. Because again, because reality doesn't exist without our perception of it. The
Yeah.
glass is still there. I'm not going to the glass is still there. It's not that it doesn't exist. If I don't see it, I
Yeah.
don't go that far. I don't think about that. But if I don't tell you how I see the glass, for you, the glass doesn't exist. You don't see the glass now. So if I don't tell you about the
Mm.
glass, you don't know about the existence of the glass because I perceive it and I share with you the perception of the glass or the spider or the ship that you
Mm.
get to know. And if you never saw the glass, the image that you create in your mind probably
Mm.
is not of the glass that I have here because you have different information about glass, about Jews. It's beautiful, it's fascinating. So, yes, you
Yes.
can teach your child if you want, you can teach your child whatever you want, and you need to be careful with that because if you always have a story with the spider, what are you expecting? The first time there is a spider on the wall, they are going,
And then you're having
and
a
it's the end of the.
conversation in the house and realize this whole chaos causes because you say, "Is that a spider?" Oh, the spider!
Yes,
And
yes,
just to
yes.
add to that, and I feel like you're going to really appreciate this. I had this another layer to just the glass as the example,
Please.
and knowing you and that you beautifully speak more than one language. I very much at the moment am surrounded by a lot of people that don't always, they have very limited English, but heart to heart, we're connecting, and thank goodness to technology, we are able to communicate.
Yeah.
And this example really shone very strongly on me recently because I said something simple like, pass me the glass, just say, okay? But in their world, a glass doesn't exist because their language didn't. Obviously, this is just like,
Yes, yes, yes,
but
yes,
even that's another layer of,
yes,
again, we are assuming sometimes that, and it goes back to now my understanding of, okay, you're saying that's a table. Who said that's a table? Because actually, in French, in Spanish, in Italian, whatever, that isn't a table. So unless you
yes,
know in the English, in my language or in whatever language we're speaking, that that is a table, actually the other person can't understand what
yes.
you're talking about or doesn't, that isn't a table in their world. And I know this is very high thinking, but I just think
No,
that
no.
it's really important
Yes,
that we really start to see the world through others' eyes, because again, like,
yes,
we make the world about our own understanding, our own perception, and yeah, it was a very simple thing that actually wasn't so simple, but I always thought that was a simple thing. And it just really hit home that, oh, I understand now. I understand that.
yes,
So
yes,
imagine from a child's perspective, especially when a child speaks multiple languages,
yes,
and we say, go, I always used to notice this, go put it in the bin. In their world, what is a bin? They know garbage, or they know trash, or they know another word. And I remember being like, it was just easier for me to get it and walk like not even far and put it in, because it was such a long process. But actually, no, in that child's world, they don't understand what the word bin means.
yes, yes, yes. And the best thing you can do is to model it for them. So when you are
Yes,
a mother, when
yes.
they are small, the best thing is that you go around the kitchen with them playing on the high chair. You know, when they are very small, on the mat near you, and you go like, okay, we need to prepare dinner. I need to cut the fruit. Okay, let's get a banana. Let's
Mm.
get an orange. Oh, this peel is very strong. You want to feel it? Pass a piece of. This is the
Aw.
orange peel. That's how they learn. You don't need. Otherwise, then you get to a point where they don't know this. They don't. You just need to talk, and they
Yeah.
they they pick it up. Different languages. everything, doesn't matter. The knowledge of the world comes through them looking at you, how you relate to things. And if you talk while you relate to things, prepare dinner or do anything else, they learn it. They learn it. They don't learn how to do it because they are not able to do it yet. But then when it's time to do it, they saw you doing it a million times. They know the name of the pieces and they can ask you for help. So, Matilda, go and get the banana. I don't know what a banana is, not at 7 years old, naturally. But the banana is the yellow fruit. If you know what yellow is, you can take her. You can take her there. So
Beautiful.
yes, it's.
And I just actually had a really big idea come through, which now makes complete sense based on what you just shared. And actually, when I think back to the times where you're just, as an adult, sometimes just getting it done, and you have the little eyes all watching and eager, they are constantly questioning, and it's almost like, oh, like, okay, enough of the questions. But actually, when you do, thinking back to another time where I've said like, okay, and you make it more of a game, let's put the flour in, woo, too much. And yeah, we do naturally, like, because when we say adult to adult right now, it seems odd, but you don't. Like when you are with a child, okay, oh, smell that. Does that smell nice? That's going to taste delicious. And there isn't questioning because they're almost so soothed by the words and the experience and the time. Whereas, yes, sometimes when we are just boom, 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 they want to know, and it almost becomes a more intense situation for the adult, whereas sharing it and actually making it an experience, I found makes it more enjoyable.
Yeah, because children are curious. Children are very curious by nature, and you need to just follow the lead. That's why if they just see you doing something and you're not talking, they will come close and say, what are you doing? Because they want to know. They don't know. It's something new. And you need to think that for us adults, in every day, you nearly never encounter something new. The house is super well known. How you feel is super well known, unless you're going through some very difficult patches in your life. Your garden, the road from here to work or from here to school, how the car works, the noises around, you don't encounter anything new. For them, till a certain age, waking up, coming downstairs, when they are small, if you move something in a room, they notice straight away. Now it's not that, with Matilda, it's not that much anymore because their brain learns, because you need to focus on things that are relevant. And that's also why we don't notice new things unless we are in an open-minded state and you notice the flower that is on the sidewalk and you think, but this is not a flower, someone dropped a flower, oh, this is a beautiful flower, I'm going to pick it up. But if you are going, I need to go to school to pick up Matilda with the double prime, you guys just, and you don't see new things because your brain is not ready to see new things. But children live constantly in an environment that has a mountain of new things. And you need to have time for all that. You don't want to teach them to just go through like that. We need to go from here to there. What is in between doesn't matter. Sometimes, okay, we are in a rush. Sometimes I do say, Tesoro, sorry, stop talking to me because I need to finish this thing and sorry, I love talking to you, but I keep getting distracted and I'm not managing what I'm doing. So sorry, give me 5 minutes and then we talk. And then I have 5 minutes adult time and then I go back to, okay, now I have time. We can talk about it.
I think you just touched on two really important things. And again, something just came to my mind of even down to, and you're in the UK, are you? Because I know that.
Yes.
So for example, the British summertime, I always remember not explicitly knowing that the change would cause like waking up in it's dark, but like for a child, for me it was very traumatic because, well, okay, that's a bit over exaggerating, but I generally was like, is no one waking up? Like, are we not going today? Like, I had so much because, and again, it's not any fault of anybody. I could have been told not listening. Sometimes children don't listen as well. But I just remember like learning first through the worry and the fear to then know, oh yeah, I remember there's sometimes in the year when it's light still and sometimes when it's dark, and it's okay. But I had to almost go through that experience
Yes.
first of being like, what's happening? And it's just those little things I think we take for granted that actually have a huge effect on children. And equally, I know we can't monitor and know all that a child's seeing, but even down to driving to school, you have no idea sometimes how much they've just absorbed just on that way to school, like passing in the car or whatever. Because I've seen a car, you can't see as much as monitor
Yes,
as
yes.
much, but again, like if the child's mood has changed from this one point to the other, I think, yeah, just having that time to just understand maybe something they might have seen, or just being conscious, which you
Yeah.
beautifully embody.
Well, you touched on two important things, but let's go. Otherwise, I
We could
will
just
be here
talk for
forever.
hours.
But it's something that we started going through. Is so when there is an emotion and when your child is moody, something happens. So, for example, yesterday I went to pick up Matilda at school. I always go with a snack that is fruit first, and then something else that is a bit sweet or something a bit crisp, something naughty, let's say. But the rule is first you have a fruit, and then so so you're not hungry. You don't eat the sugar or the salty because you are hungry, just because you like it, so you don't fill up on that. And yesterday, because there were two extra poos with my childminding children, I was late and so I forgot the apple. I was like, I forgot the apple. This is going to be a drama. But I managed to pack two crumpets with butter for all of them. So this was meant to be the second snack, apple first. And when I got there, I'm hungry. Yes, I know, my dear. Do you have fruit? No, I didn't manage.
Yeah.
I think it's the first time she's in year 3, so it never happened before. But hey ho, naturally, it was a drama. And we went to the bus stop because we come back by bus. And she was. And I told her, Matilda, why don't you go? There is a field near the bus stop. Look, you can go from here to there. Those 3 trees. You can get till there. It's safe. You can still see me. I call you back when the bus is here. Why should I? I already know what is there. Yes, but usually it makes you in a good mood. It helps you. So you tell them that, okay, you are in a bad mood. I understand that you're in a bad mood. You were expecting the fruit because this is what you are used to. I perfectly understand what you feel is what you feel, as we said. But you can move on. We are going to be home in 15 minutes and there is an apple waiting for you. So what do you think? Can we move? No. Well, Matilda, if you want me to spend time with you, I am happy when you are happy. So don't expect me to want to be happy near you being grumpy. I love you I always love you, but I love when you are happy because I think you feel better. So usually at some point I give a timeout and I say, by the time we get on the bus, do you think you manage your good mood? Yes. And then I leave her. When she says yes, I don't know when the bus is coming, but till the bus is coming, I'm being patient. I talk to her a bit. I leave her space, but I don't not talk to her because it's not I want to punish her. I'm teaching her to be in a good mood. If you tell them, you need to be in a good mood now, otherwise I punish you, it's not going to work because that's not, the brain learns when you are happy. I keep telling her. Also when we do homework, look, let's have a break because you are crying, you are grumpy, you are not learning it. We are doing it for you to learn. So let's have a break. You want a snack? You want a juice? You want to go and do the monkey bar? You have 5 minutes, then we go back. So you can teach them that what they feel is important and true for them because it's their truth, not your truth, and it doesn't need to be. But you need to teach them if you want them to be to be able to become happy people, happy adults, that they can move on. You don't need to be stuck. And naturally, every time it takes a different time because as depends on how deep the emotion is. Can take 2 minutes, can take 10 minutes. When you're an adult, can take half day. You are grumpy for half day, but you need to know also when you are there and you think like, I have that. I get stuck into emotion and I'm like, I don't manage to move it. And then I go like, okay, be patient. Just keep going what you're doing and it will go. And then it goes because emotions never last forever. Doesn't matter how long they last, but they are temporary. And you can help yourself to move to happiness.
I think that's super important what you've mentioned, because I think we forget about that with children because they bounce back so quickly often that no, even as an adult, we have days and it's just, it's one of those days. And so, yeah, to put that almost that pressure on a child all the time who doesn't have that awareness so much, is still navigating, and even us with all the things of like, oh, I'll go for a walk, that makes me feel better, not better. Oh, I'll go get this, and we are going through it ourselves, but that child doesn't almost have that kind of like awareness. Sometimes they don't know.
Yes.
So
yes.
I think that's beautiful you've addressed that.
Yeah. And also, sorry, and then
No.
And also with, for example, there is a child. She's nearly 3 years old. She's 3 years old now in November, who comes to childminding. And before summer, she was very happy to come. And then after summer, after the summer break, we had a couple of weeks of her not wanting to let go of mommy and daddy when she was coming and being dropped off. And both, well, it came from me. It came from me because the parents and the grandmother were focusing on be a good girl for me, be a good girl. And then one day she told me, while she was sitting and they were eating and I was feeding them and we always chat, she was saying, I'm a good girl now. I'm the best girl. I was like, the best for what? I'm a good girl. I'm the best girl. And I said, Rosa, but you are always good. You are always a good girl. I think what's more important is, are you happy? You can be happy. Also, when it feels difficult, when you don't have exactly what you want, that is mommy and daddy, and this what you feel is what you should be feeling. Your first choice are mom and dad, and that's how it should be. It doesn't matter who else is around, grandparents, childminder, it doesn't matter. Your first choice is your parents, and that's really how it should be. If it's not, there is something that is not okay there. So, but then, even if you don't have that, you can be able to move on. You can have a good day.
Yeah.
And I noticed that for her, if she's able to put on her shoes and her jacket and go in the garden and play by herself for 10 minutes, it's gone. So I always encourage her. I deal with the others. Do you want the shoes and the jacket? You wait for us in the garden 10 minutes and then we go. And she starts playing with the mud kitchen. She moves things. She wants her teddy. And then I say, it's time to go. Yes. And I made the practice of making her notice. Did you see how well you did? You're in a good mood now. So it's true. Sometimes you are sad and worried, maybe. I try to make her talk about how she felt. But you can move on. See, we are having a great morning now, aren't we? Yes. And then she starts.
Absolutely. I think that really goes back to what we said earlier about knowing that individual child, because just from my own experience, like if a child was very creative and they loved drawing and stuff, instead of pressurizing them, it's maths, I would say, go draw a beautiful picture, then put it in your bag and you can take that home and make it an exciting thing of. But actually, if mummy and daddy were here right now, they would see what you're doing. So you get to do this without them seeing, and then you get to surprise them later. And it's just kind of making it just more of, like just taking that time, like right now, giving 5 minutes delay is actually going to set that child up so much more for what they need to. They're not going to, like what you say, they're not going to be actively involved. They're not going to learn if their mind is somewhere else. So as much as we can press on, sit on the carpet or do this, get in the house, but until they have almost regulated themselves, whether that's 5 minutes, 10 minutes, whatever, it's sometimes, I feel, important to take that time first. And then it's okay. Today, okay, we have less time. That's okay. Doesn't matter. Because actually, your well-being right now is important. And, we wouldn't like that if we went round someone's house or something and everyone's almost treating us like the elephant in the room of like, oh, what's wrong with her? No one wants to address it and we're just carrying on. It's not going to make us feel good, is it? So... And then equally
And
knowing if someone doesn't want to have it all highlighted. And again, it's just always personal to the person and the situation.
yes, yes, yes. And this goes connects to the presence, because I think it's a song, sorry. Every memory, every moment of the future is a memory of the past.
Oh,
Is
wow.
it how the song goes? So we keep thinking, what's next? So we need to get in the car because we need to go to school, because the moment we are focusing is being in school. And
Mm,
then when we drop them in school, we tell them, I come and get you this afternoon and we do this together. And then we tell them, after we do this together and we still haven't done it, there is this other thing. So we move them forward, always making them linger for the next thing. And that's
mm,
how we also live. We are doing this today, now thinking about the washing machine that I need to empty, the
mm.
guys who need to come and fix the heating, and yesterday and the day after I was doing what I was doing, thinking about this episode. So what the heck?
Yeah.
Be present, do
Yeah.
what you are doing. Stop. If you need to stop, just stop and say, I'm playing 30 minutes with my child.
Yeah.
I'm not going to worry about all that happened before. I'm not going to worry about dinner. I will worry about it later. I'm
Mm.
here now. The phone is silent. I'm here
Beautiful.
just for this, because this is important now and it will be very important in the future. It will, because every moment of the future is a memory of the past. So if you want to build a relationship with your child for the future, you need to build bricks now. Little bricks, one by one, little by little. And that's what they will remember. And this ties with the story that they tell in their mind when they are adult children, or where they are adult, is the replay of what they heard you telling them for
Well, yeah,
years.
that's what I was literally just thinking, which just ties in again of it. We can say, okay, yeah, right now we're doing this, but they're watching again. So, oh, they're seeing, they know what's exactly going on, that you're not in the present moment. And I guess that's where generational patterns change, because if you can generally, mummy always has a phone. Yeah, yeah, beautiful, darling. Oh, I love
Yes.
that.
Yeah,
It doesn't matter what you're saying, they know that you're doing this. They're not, every time they
absolutely.
look away, they know you're looking away. They're very aware. So yeah, if kind of your hand does become your phone, maybe just put the phone in another room. Give yourself even that 15 minutes. And not only then are you modeling to your child that I'm here right now with you in this moment, because we can say it, but are we actually? And I think that's really powerful what you've said. As always, it's an absolute pleasure. I know we could speak and speak and speak and speak. I
Yeah,
absolutely adore you. I love our connection that we have. You're an absolute gem. Obviously, if there's anything
thank
that's
you.
coming up, anything you want to share, please use this time now. We'll put all your details in the description and your previous episode, which I know people will want to go and watch. And yeah, I feel like you shared so much already, but one thing I always like to ask right at the end is if there was something, anything right now that someone would really benefit from hearing, what would you tell them?
Well, I think we went through energy and presence for yourself, for your children, for whoever is around you. Really, I think that if we are not here to make uh, other people's life better, and consequently our life better, because if you don't do it for yourself, if you don't have it for yourself, you can't give it, you can't gift it. The best thing that you can do for yourself and for all those around you is to find out or remember what is that grounds you. So for me, it's nature. I need to walk in the woodlands, even with children around me. It's not that I need to be completely by myself. Then, if I'm with my husband and Matilda, sometimes I do say, guys, I walk 10 minutes that way and then I meet you there. So I don't need to be aware
Beautiful.
of anything else apart from nature. But for me, it works very well also with children. I work I work with the energy of children. For me are great wherever I am. So for me, it works also with children. So yes, try to sit and remember whatever it is, swimming, going to the gym, going for a
Mm.
walk, singing, playing music. I'm not musical at all, so I don't know that realm, but um, yes, yes, because you need whatever you do, wherever you're going, you need to know where you're starting. You need to be strong of where you are, and then you need to look at where am I going. But you need to have the energy for that. You need to have the energy, meaning you need to feel what goes around, and you need to give the energy in the direction that you want to go. Otherwise, you're not going anywhere.
Beautiful. Thank you so much, Francesca. You're amazing, and I love all that what you're doing, creating, and yeah, I just wish you so much success and exposure and all that you deserve for all that you're creating, and just keep shining. You're amazing.
Thank you. We didn't touch on the meditation you created, but this is about the energy. No, no, let me touch on it. Sorry.
Okay. Yeah,
You created a beautiful meditation for me. So
yeah.
I, at some point, checking your website, I saw that you create meditations, and because I need help, and this helping a lot on confidence and being confident and humble at the same time. So I told you a bit of that. You asked me some more details, and you created this beautiful, the blessing and the meditation. I love them both. That resonates so deeply with my energy and with the way we relate, because clearly you and me relate in a very deep way, easy
Yeah,
way.
yeah.
It's very very good. And the meditation brought all that up. So yes, also meditation. Find the meditation that works for you. Have one made. Shel Marie is great for it. Listen to things that align you. Listen to things. Music. I do it also with music. I'm quite ignorant about music, but the music moves me. I love being moved by music and by words. It's a beautiful thing. So, yes, listen to
Oh,
things that align you. Instead of scrolling, give yourself a choose rain sound, meditation, whatever, 15 minutes to align. Because, yeah, if you don't have time to go for a walk or go swimming, do it just with your brain if you can't do it physically. Yeah.
beautiful. Thank you so much for mentioning that. And honestly, I feel like it's something that I almost behind the scenes offer people. So I feel like you in sharing that has made me make it more public. And obviously, if anyone listening to this would like to receive one, I really appreciate your feedback with it. And yeah, it's just almost like a gift from my heart to yours. And I use it to really think about. So, for instance, Francesca, what she's focusing on, and what she, almost like the future version of her, and to just also bring that belief of how I see her, so that she can see herself in that shine that everyone sees her radiating. So, thank you.
Thank you.
You're so
Do
welcome.
you do you do you I don't know. Do you want to announce what we are doing next together?
You can do it if you want.
No, no, no. It's your idea, your creation, so I think it needs to
Okay,
come from you.
so yeah, if you've got to this point and you're still listening, then you've received a little gem, and this incredible woman in front of you. And I know she already spoke about her little star, Matilda. From previously being a teacher for over 13 years, we had this deep discussion. We have a lot of behind the scenes discussions, and we both believe that children are really the future and they are our greatest teachers. And so we're going to do a mini Zest to Zen, featuring, to start with, your beautiful daughter. And she's going to lead the way, and we're going to really tap into the beautiful minds and the innocence of the children, and just discuss ways we think we can make this world even better through the mind of a child. And I am super 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 excited. So if you are hearing this and you have a beautiful little superstar at home, and you would like to have the opportunity to let them shine and amplify their voice, you are more than welcome to contact me, and I would love to hear from you. And thank you, Francesca. So many little surprises. You're an absolute blessing.
Yeah, yeah. Thank you. This is. I think this is. You had a great idea. It's beautiful. Also because learning about other children. Because when we have a child or two children, three children, four children, we think we have an idea about what a child is, and we are shown what a child is. But we have one, two, three, four examples. Unless you are a teacher, a childminder, or someone who works with children, your range of how children behave, how they feel is quite small. So having a podcast that shows you what other children around the world,
Yeah.
that is going to be so fascinating to notice how different and fantastic each of them is, and how much we can pick up for each of them. So I'm very grateful to be part of it. Yes.
I love you so much. You're amazing. Keep shining.